hello. Good morning, and welcome to the Mind Your Business show. I am your host, Milt Walker, with Tony Calloway. How you doing, Tony?
I am doing fantastic, Maestro. Beautiful, beautiful morning here in Columbus, Georgia. And I appreciate you, man, for getting us here on the Mind Your Business show live. And I want to thank all of you viewers for making us an important part of your Saturday and an important part of your life. Now, today's show, you notice, starts with the proof slide that's showing. So, what I'm going to share with you is going to be different than our normal order because we get so many inquiries, questions, and obviously, as you'll see, we fund a lot of people empower their dreams with private money. So we figured this would just be a perfect opportunity to validate, verify, and give evidence to the great things that this team is doing here at the Private Money Syndicate. So with the maestro here, and he's going to be monitoring the chat. So if you have any questions about any of the things that as I go through this, please go ahead and post your chats, questions, and we'll make pauses for the calls and make sure that we address those. Now, for those of you who have not visited the show, the Mind Your Business show before, then you're in for an awesome treat because if you have a dream that relates to real estate or starting or growing a business, you found the right source for your capital. Now, who is the Private Money Syndicate? Well, we are hyper focused on supporting you, the small business owner, startup entrepreneur, and real estate investors with fast access to the capital you need to grow your wealth. And if you want to learn any and everything about us, you can go to our website, privatemoneysyndicate.com.
That's right.
Now, we can help you to access all the capital you need. And in addition to the money, we give you the guidance and advisory support with our advisory partners. And fundamentally, we have programs that can fund most capital needs regardless of your initial credit score and history, and even if you have a limited time in business. So, to get the consultation and to find out how we can serve your needs, all you have to do is go to privatemoneysyndicate.com, and there are plenty of schedule buttons all over the place for you to click on and get that consultation set up for you. Uh, Now, I want to just kind of start off hot by giving you an example. Now, this is what's called a term sheet. And I'm not sure how clearly you can see the print part, but there's somebody's name up there. But here you see personal and business credit. And you see that this person was given an offer for between 30 and 50,000 on their business and personal credit combined, and another offer of 20 to 30,000 on business credit. So just to give you a little education, because you're going to be seeing lots of these things. The great thing about private money loans are that typically they do not report to your personal credit bureau. So if you have an entity, which is one of the prerequisites, either an LLC or a corporation, then you want to be positioned where you separate yourself from your business when it comes to your finances. That includes having a business bank account and all those other things. But when you are using credit as an awesome tool to build your business or to invest in real estate, then you need to have the type of credit that is not going to encumber your personal credit profile. So that is one of the great benefits of using private money for developing capital. Now, for our real estate investors or those of you who dream to be, this is called a term sheet. And here you can see at the top, which is the main parts of it, that this person had a property that was worth $200,000. And depending on whether you'll see 5-1, that means 5-year level with a one point adjustment, potentially 7-1, and then 30-year fix, which is what most everybody wants. So let's just talk about the far right column, that they were able to get financed $142,000 against the value of that property. Now, you notice the very top space is blank. This is a refinance. So this is what we call a refinance, where we're able to help them to get cash out of their real estate holdings. And we do a lot of that with our clients because a lot of people who have already invested in real estate, and with the market rising like crazy, man, it's just a great opportunity for them to take some of the capital that they've accumulated and redeploy that money to buy additional properties. Now, let's get into why we're even here and what is valuable. The fact is, there is a lot of things that people in the marketplace don't know about Capital Maestro. For example,
Right.
almost every time someone comes to us for a loan, it's amazing. All they know is they need so much money, but what do they need that money for? And they don't understand that there are a variety of types of capital. When it comes to capitalizing a business, now you can do it with debt or equity. We even now help investors, or excuse me, not investors, but people who have business ideas to be able to access crowdfunding, equity crowdfunding, financial statements, the different types of loans. Most people have never heard the concept of capital matching. That's putting the right kind of capital with the need that the business or the real estate investor has. A personal versus a business loan. Lender matching. Well, what is that? Well, that's what we do. And then lender compliance. And what is the loan package? How do you put that together? See, these are some of the things, and I have a whole presentation on why people can't raise capital is because they don't know these details. But see, all you need to know is these four words. I know a guy. Okay. And that's the private money godfather who's talking to you right now, because we, as the team we represent here at the Private Money Syndicate, can help to get all these things positioned so that you can capitalize your business, because we do two things and we do two things well. We know how to raise capital, and we know how to work with real estate investors to help them to power their real estate investment dreams with private money. As you see, it says here, flip money, not houses. The great thing about our strategy is we start looking at real estate investment from the financing end, because the greatest thing that has allowed people to become wealthy with real estate is the amount of leverage that you can use by being able to use borrowed capital to own an income producing asset, where oftentimes people get stuck in their real estate investing ambitions is they don't know how to get the capital, and then they don't know how to use it. Well, we ensure, and I promise you, we'd have four times more business if I wasn't constantly telling people, no, that's not going to work. But the fact remains that if you don't have the capital structure and you don't understand the financing side of real estate investment, at some point it's going to be an impediment, or it's going to be a disaster. So what we do is to help people to resolve those conflicts, get the right kind of capital for their financing needs, and let them go forward into the marketplace, whether it's with business or if it's with real estate investing. Now, here's some remarkable truths: that debt is to be accessed as an important tool for business and real estate investing. Now, as David Ramsey and Susie Orman say, yeah, you shouldn't have debt on the personal side, and I totally agree with that. But when it comes to understanding this tool, it's like a knife. If you use it properly, you can do amazing things with it. Now, equity partners, on the other hand, are more expensive than borrowing capital for your business. Now, at the right place and time for the right businesses, I certainly encourage people to explore gaining capital by bringing in partners. But I always say, if a partner's only bringing money, then it's cheaper to borrow. If they're bringing some other resource, then yeah, it makes sense to have their contacts, their resources, and their knowledge. But from the standpoint of somebody, let's say if they're a 20% owner of the business that you're starting, that 20% equity position is going to be rewarded forever unless you buy them out. So wouldn't it be smarter if the situation warrants that bring in debt as opposed to equity? Most times it is. And the last point here is working with the right know-how. You can raise $100,000 or more, regardless of your initial credit score, history, and limited time in business. And we're just going to show you again and again how we're able to do that. Now here, Maestro, look at this. Somebody, we were able to get $50,000 to $70,000 to power their dreams. Now, we have clients who are often looking to go into real estate investing, but they don't have the 20 to 30% down payment that they would need for a private mortgage loan. But because we can give them access to credit lines, and many times those credit lines are 0% interest for up to 12 months, they're able to put that money into down payment for rehab and other things so that they can go ahead and acquire the properties. Right. Here we have another one. Look at that. What does that say there, Maestro? The amount down there.
80 to 120,000.
Now, what could you do with an 80 to $120,000?
I could hire some people to help me with all these projects.
Power and dreams, power and dreams. Okay.
Right,
And
right.
And so before I go any further, I'm gonna let that sit up there and let y'all marinate on that for a minute. I want you to think of your dreams, but while we're letting folks kind of think about that, do we have anybody joining us? Do we have any shout outs and any
So,
questions so far?
so yeah, we got Ryan Calloway. And this says good morning, gents. Good morning, Ryan. Good to see you, brother. Uh, and that's it for right now. Everybody's just kind of liking and loving and paying attention. So they're looking for the proof.
All right, fantastic. All right, now here's another real estate investment term sheet, and it's a cash out refinance. You can see it says that right there at the top. But now this one is going to blow your mind. Now this client, let's just go all the way to the right hand column, 30-year fix, where it says no DSCR. Now, no debt service coverage ratio. Now, what that means, and again, folks, I don't know how well you can see this or not. That means that this property is below. If you look down the left hand column where you see DSCR, you'll see a 0.968 in the first column. To the far right, it says 0.96. That means that in this particular case, the income that the property would generate is not enough to cover the debt. Now, you say, well, why would somebody want to do that? See, this is an ingenious strategy that can be used because this person basically bought and did a lot of renovation with this property. Now, the value is $215,000. The amount that they had invested in the property is $150,000 or thereabouts. So fundamentally, we were able to, if you were to go further down the line, you would see that they were basically able to get this $150,000 because their intent is to flip the property. But instead of waiting until it's sold, they're able to extract this money. Now they still have roughly $60,000 on the upside, subject to, obviously if they sell it full price and have to pay realtor commissions and all that. But see, most people would not have this strategy in place. All they know is I got to wait until I sell it. And if you don't, and here's another important thing, if you have pressure on the transaction to sell it faster, what do most people do? They have to drop the price. Now here, because they were able to take $150,000 out, have some to cover the payments until it sells and move on to other projects, they don't have to be under that kind of pressure. So again, just another real estate strategy that you can't necessarily do with the bank, but you can do these kind of things with private money loans. Here we have another offer for a business loan or line of credit, and you'll see they're offered $40,000 to $60,000. And now we can do this all day. And the point is that this is what we do all day. We show people how they can acquire the wealth that they want to achieve in their lives, but they're doing it by having control of other people's money. So from the standpoint, the Private Money Syndicate, and you can go to privatemoneysyndicate.com and schedule a consultation. We show people how to accomplish what's important to them. Here we have one for $30,000 to $50,000. And again, if you weren't here at the beginning, the difference between business and personal is that business credit allows you to totally separate yourself and your business as far as the financial activities, where matter of fact, the first reason a lot of people who are entrepreneurial and going into business and starting business have poor credit scores is because they funded their business on their own personal credit. And again, that's fine, but it's imposing on your personal life. The business might be going along, but I talk to people every day who have 500 and 600 credit scores because they maxed out their cars making real estate investments or buying things for their businesses. What we show you right here is how we can get you funded using your personal income and your personal credit, but get you funded for business credit lines that you can use that will be in the EIN or tax ID number for your entity, which then keeps it off of your FICO score profile. Does that make sense, Maestro?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
I have
so
a
we
couple
want
of trade lines myself for my business. Yeah.
fantastic, and that also helps you, as he just mentioned, start building your trade lines for your business enterprise. There's another big one, $80,000 to $120,000, and we see the name up there. There's zillions of Reginalds in the world, but Reginald's just set up the. Now again, most folks, when it comes to starting a business or using it for real estate investment purposes, that's the kind of money that you can go hog wild with. I mean, the biggest impediments people have in real estate investing are two: they don't know what they've read the books, bought programs and stuff like that. They don't necessarily have the confidence we can work with you as part of our Flipping Money Not Houses coaching program. The other is they don't have the money. Well, I'm showing you the money, and this is not Jerry Maguire. This is the private money godfather, Tony Calloway, showing you the money that you can get by coming to privatemoneysyndicate.com. We got another real estate example here. This is, I think this is the same one. So let me continue down. All right. So, all right, here we go. We have another example here where this person wasn't able to get funding based on their business or personal credit, but from the second tier down there, it says that there are 3 criteria they have to meet. We could give them $15,000 to $20,000. Now, again, this would be in a situation where somebody's looking to get funded. Now, how many times has this person been turned down, turned down, turned down? I have no idea. Let me tell you another valuable characteristic of working with a private money syndicate is instead of you going to the bank, filling out an application, instead of you going to one of these fintech websites and just putting all your information in to see if you qualify for lending, every one of our clients starts off with a consultation. We take great pains as part of our process to be able to identify what is going to be the best route for you. And we do it in such a way that you don't get any inquiries on your credit profile. I would have to say that 25 to 30% of the people that we work with, one of the challenges that we have to help them to overcome is they have all these inquiries where they've been trying to get money. And every time they go out there and try to get funding, they get an inquiry added on their credit profile, which at some point it impacts the score and it impacts their profile. Now, the score is one thing, the profile is another. To give you a case in point, there are people who have bankruptcy showing on their credit profile. They have restored their credit to where their score is over 700. But lenders still look at that profile. And when they look at all those inquiries, they say, hey, this person's out here trying to find money and we don't want to take the risk oftentimes. We're able to help them overcome that. But wouldn't it be smarter that before you do anything, you talk to an expert? They're able to help you to get pre-approved, like you see right here, without yet having a pull or inquiry on your credit report. Now, doesn't that sound like a smarter way to do business?
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what we do. All right. Now, here's another. Now that I'm going the right direction, here's another real estate loan where this was an acquisition. If you want to read this with me, they bought the property for $99,200. And that's the loan that they requested because the purchase price was $150. So in this case, they were putting about 30% down. So if you was called at 100, they're buying it for 150. They had to put 30% down. Now think about it. They could, if they had a $30,000 or $50,000 line of credit, they could use that $50,000, which wasn't their money. They had control of it. Add it to the 99,000. Let's call it 100. So now they go out and buy this property. So from the standpoint that we're able to fund this purchase for them. Now, if you go down to the point where you see his loan amount is 76%, and all the way to the right is 78% of the loan amount, most lenders don't go over 75. In this case, because this looked like a pretty good deal, I'm sure when we get all the statistics and information to the lender, they were able to go and willing to go over 75% of the loan to value. Now, look at the interest rates. Now, a lot of people think, oh, hard money loans are very high. All right. Now, again, they can be, because I tell people if the juice is worth the squeeze, you got to make that decision. But these are incredible rates, as low as 5.35%. We can actually fund clients. I don't know if I have that one in this presentation. We've gotten offers as low as 4.9% for clients. The debt coverage ratio looks really good. If you go to that DSCR, that's a term you guys need to learn, debt service coverage ratio. And from the standpoint, if you go all the way to the bottom, if you see it says monthly cash flow, this person is going to be able to cash flow on the far right column, 30-year loan, it's $262 a month, over $250 a month. Yeah. So I'm just saying we're able to start with nothing but borrowed money, credit line, make the acquisition, do the rehab, and here they are able to have over $3,000 a year. If we just say it 250 times 12 is $3,000 a year positive cash flow. And all they had to do is let us help them get their credit fixed if that's what they needed. But if they come to us with good credit, you're in business and you're in the real estate game. And I think that's awesome. All right, I want to take a pause, see if we had any questions, or Maestro, if you have any questions, or if anybody else showed up, we want to acknowledge.
Yeah, Nikki Johnson is joining us. She says, "Good morning, team." Um, and
Hey,
yeah,
Nikki.
people are just listening. But yeah, no, yeah. So I mean, I think it's really important to kind of point out to people that that it is a process. And once you come in and you have that guidance, you can make the right decisions, right? That's the biggest part of this, that I'm getting from it is that with the right guidance, you can make the right decisions and really save yourself some time and some headache.
Big time. And I want to add to that, and I thank you for making those comments. Also, achieve your goals and dreams. In another presentation that I did, I said that the cost of waiting is often called opportunity cost is greater than the cost of resolving whatever the issues are that are the impediments. I call them impediments or the mitigating circumstances that we have to deal with in helping our clients to get funded. So, we're not asking for. It's almost like the Statue of Liberty. They say, "Bring us your tired, poor, and your huddled masses." Okay, we say, "Hey, look, if you got a dream and have an ambition and want to accomplish something in business or real estate investing, let's talk. You might be surprised at what we can do to help you to make those things happen." And that's what we love to do here at the Private Money Syndicate. And here's another case in point, 30 to 50. Think about this, folks. Y'all are looking at numbers on a page, but imagine right now, close your eyes if you got to. You just had a approval to where you got your hands on 30 to $50,000. Whatever you've been thinking about doing in your life that was business oriented, real estate investing. Now this is for business. This is not for you to go buy a new car to go down to Saks Fifth Avenue. This is for you to power some awesome dreams on the commercial side of business. How long would it take you to save up 30,000 to 40,000 to $50,000? Think about it. How long would it say? I'm talking to you. How long would it take you to save up that kind of money? Where if, let's just suppose you made an appointment to talk to Private Money Syndicate by going to privatemoneysyndicate.com, punching one of those hundreds of buttons that the maestro has put on the webpage for you to schedule a consultation. And let's talk about your dreams. And in 3 to 4 weeks, you could have control of $30 to $50,000. And with that control of capital, you can go out and do some awesome things for you in your life. Right? Uh, let's see. I keep wondering, am I going the wrong way or the right way? All right, here's another offer for 30 to 70,000. Excuse me, 50 to $70,000. Again, the same thing. Where we're helping people to accomplish the funding, 60 to $80,000. Again, these are pre-approved offers for clients because we've been able to look at their credit profile. We asked them to pull a no inquiry posted soft pull tri-merge to where our experts can look and see which of our lending. Now, this is called lender matching. Okay, I made reference to it early in the presentation. Lender matching is where we are able to look at that borrower's profile and see which lenders we have who are going to approve for that use of funds and for that person's profile. And before we even have them complete the full application, we've come to them with this offer from a lender that they say, okay, if everything you have told us is true, then once you fill out our application, we will make one inquiry, which is legitimately going to fund you for your financing. And here in this case, it was $60,000 to $80,000. So that is the smart way to do this thing called raising capital. And this is on the debt side, and this is part of our process here at the Private Money Syndicate. All right, now here's another real estate pre-qualification where the property was valued at $125,000, and we financed it up to 80%, $100,000, $100,000, and we look at these rates, awesome, 5.3%. Now the DSCR that I've been teaching you guys about is 1.63. Now, if you go all the way down to the bottom, Maestro, where it says cash to from borrower. So you see those numbers there. You see that this person was able to put, after they refinanced this real estate, they were able to put $4,000, depending on which option they chose. But this is cash that they put in their pocket. Now,
Right.
starting this transaction with borrowed money, they had none of their own cash in this transaction. Not $1. But now let's step back up a few lines where it says monthly cash flow. Now, Maestro, since you're the only person I can talk to, let's just suppose you schedule a consultation. You say, hey, you saw this piece of property, or in this case, this was a refinance. I see it when the purchase, and you say you're trying to decide, do I want to sell the property? And or do I want to, just hold on? Can I get some money out and hang on to it? So we consult. I say, okay, well, look, based on this, we go through the numbers. I can reposition this thing to where when it says on the line, it says monthly cash flow, you can be putting somewhere between $400 and $500 a month in your pocket. That's $6,000 a year from cash flow and still hold the property that can go up in value over time. But and after all that's said and done, you still cashed out and took to the bank a check for like $3,000 to $4,000. Now, is that awesome or is that awesome?
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
All right.
You
That's
got
why we say
options. You got options.
that's why we say flip the money, not the house. Okay. Because when you flip the money, you can go back and flip it again. Imagine how many times you can flip a quarter versus if you spend a quarter. That's kind of the scenario there. All right, so now drawing near to the end, I just want to review for everybody what we are able to do in terms of our funding and services. We have a variety of different aspects of our business loans. I'm not going to go through it in great detail, but now we can do starter loans as little as $2,500. So it doesn't have to be the big money. Small business loans from $5 to $2 million. Cash advances, they can be unsecured and secured lines of credit. A variety of equipment financing and leasing. Now, again, when you look at contract invoices, purchase orders, and inventory factoring, those are value in a business that can be loaned against. You can use those things as collateral. So if you're a business that goes and gets a contract, in fact, one of my early clients about 5 years ago, he had retired from the Air Force as a disabled vet. He had been in the environmental remediation technical side of things, I guess, while I was in the Air Force. But anyway, he got a contract at Moody Air Force Base. Didn't have an employee, didn't have any equipment, didn't have anything. But he got awarded a contract because he was a disabled vet. We were able to factor his, they call it factoring. We were able to factor his contracts between the three contracts for service he had on, I guess, three different buildings. We were able to get him between 85 and 93% of the value of those contracts. I think altogether put about $160,000 in his hand. This guy went on to build in the course of 3 years a multi-million-dollar business because he got in contact with the Private Money Syndicate. We were able to help him to create value and put cash under his control because he had contracts. And you can do the same things. We can help businesses to set up consumer or in-house financing. If you're a contractor who does home remodeling or heating and air, plumbers are incredibly expensive. And oftentimes your clients might not have the money to pay you right away. And so they start shopping. If you can put in your marketing and advertising financing available, then you will get calls that the other guys won't. And guess who will help you to have that financing to where they borrow the money and they pay you with it, and then they're paying back the lender, but you got paid. We can set that up for any small business because we offer our clients consumer and in-house financing. Many of these business loans can close in as little as 10 days. Now, going back to the difference between going to the bank and coming to the private money syndicate is that the private money syndicate, I almost call it the common sense way of looking at things. If I see where you're making enough to be able to pay me back, your credit is not that important. Now, yes, it does is your kind of ticket to admission, but it doesn't determine whether or not you can get. Sometime it more determines how much you can get. So, and again, if credit is an issue for anybody, we have experts. I'll almost call them magicians that can fix it. Okay. And I tell people, a matter of fact, Maestro, we had a show, I think it was about a month ago, where I said, it makes sense to me if I had to spend $1,000 to get my credit score to 750 to be able to borrow $100,000 to go out here and make $1 million. Come on, folks. I hope you all understand what I'm talking about. All right. And again, loans that do not report to your credit bureau, flexible repayment plans. In most cases, almost all cases, because I can't think of any right now, there are no upfront fees, and we do offer SBA guaranteed loans. Now, for our real estate investors and real estate students who want to get into the investment game, any and everything that you ever thought about as far as real estate investment financing, we've got it for you. So the list is pretty long. I'm only going to hit on a few that are kind of unique. Now, if we go down to understanding that in the real estate investment game, real estate development and construction financing is hard to get. Now, from the standpoint, not too many lenders are able to provide it. We have resources that can help you if you bought some land and you want to build on it. We can help you to develop not only individual properties. One of the early projects that we funded was a $10 million development out in the desert outside of Winslow, Arizona. And this guy was building a subdivision out there. And so from the standpoint that he already owned the land, but he needed to do all the infrastructure and placement and things like that, we were able to fund that, I think about $6 million. Churches. Now, for those of you who are pastors or, churches, as I learned when I got into this business, they have to refinance their notes every 5 to 7 years. We do that. Cannabis is a growing industry. More and more states are approving it. More and more people are getting in that space. We can fund operational capital and real estate financing. And these other things are different attributes. But the biggest one to me, and that applies to almost everybody as a benefit, is that next to the last bullet that says no reporting to your credit bureaus. None of the real estate financing that we do reports to your credit bureau. Okay, so from the standpoint, separating your real estate activities totally from your personal credit profile is a smart, wise business move. And you can't do that with bank financing. Now, I will say that the banks, people had a conversation last week about, I can get 3% at the bank. You can probably get 2% at the bank for an owner-occupied property. For investment property, you're in the realm of the numbers we're talking. And on top of that, the benefit of our financing is it does not report to your credit bureau for your real estate investment properties, whereas at the bank, it is going to report to your credit profile. Some of the other services that we're able to provide here at the Private Money Syndicate is if you have a business that you want to turn into a franchise, give us a call. We have financing that is in support of that. I mentioned equity crowdfund. I can't even say equity crowdfunding. If you want to fund your business with ownership shares sold to others, we can get you on a platform that will allow you to do that. We fund internationally and international letters of credit. So if you're doing business abroad and need those letters of credit, we can help you to get them. We have consultants that can help you set up your entities. And again, if your credit is damaged or if your credit is below 750, I promise you, you will be wise. Again, whether or not you're looking to go into business, borrow money or anything, your life will get less expensive with a high credit score. Get your credit fixed so we can do it fast and we can do it on a guaranteed basis. And then business debt settlement. In some cases, people come to us for financing because they're in distress. And sometimes another loan is not the solution. We have legal resources that can help to renegotiate the terms of your debts and improve your cash flow profile by reducing your obligation, your payments on debt obligations to where your business can recover. And so with the effects of the pandemic, we've actually had a number of cases where we've been able to save. And in one case, several years ago, a business had been in business 38 years, was in some severe trouble, and we were able to negotiate some pretty high dollar equipment leases for them. So I'm telling you, if you know anybody who's suffering and in those conditions, please put them in contact with us here at the Private Money Syndicate. So now it's time for the question and answers. And as it says here, the Private Money Syndicate will help you with the 3 steps to raising capital. There are 3 key steps, and we will help you to access all the funding that you need. And restating, we have the guidance and technical advisory partners to support you. We have programs that can fund most capital needs regardless of initial credit score and history, and with limited time in business, because you can't do anything about that you just started. But often, and I would say a third of those business loan term sheets that I showed you, these people just started. And if you go back and watch the video, it's going to be posted. A lot of these were in the past month or two, and some of these people just started their businesses in late 2020, 2021, and we were able to pull together the right profile, the right lender matching, the right capital structure to give them the money that they need to power their dreams. So I want to ask Maestro, we have any questions or any other shout outs from folks who are out there in our viewing audience this morning?
No questions. But Ryan Calloway says time is money and money is time. Time is either your friend or your enemy. Procrastination could cost you. So I think that's a good point. A lot of people, they recognize that their time is, valuable, and so, we definitely want to make sure that we're addressing that part. So could you address that? How, because I think you did a little bit with the credit part, but how the time factor comes
Mhm.
into play when it comes to the money.
Okay, very good. And I'll address that from two dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, Ryan Calloway, my brother. Very proud of him. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for that comment. All right, let's talk about people say, I want to go into business, I want to invest in real estate, and they know they need capital. The traditional logic for that is, I want to save up to get to, I'll just use $50,000. Now, most people, it's hard to save for most people more than a grand a month. All right, so let's just say a grand a month. It would take you 50 months, which is 4 years and 2 months, to save that $50,000. If my math is correct. Okay, now think of 4 years and 2 months. Now let's compare that. Let's just say that the business idea that you have will make you, I'm going to be conservative. Let's just say that your business idea will make you $25,000 in profit. Okay, we're going to say that your business is going to be profitable out the box. Okay, 25,000, nothing crazy. Okay, uh, now let's just suppose that you could get yourself qualified. Now, if you're qualified based on credit, fine. If you need to, as I'm telling y'all, if you had to pay $1,000 to get your credit score so we could fund you within 3 months, a $50,000 line of credit, and you saw those term sheets if you watched the whole program. All right, so if in the first year you're in business instead of saving up for 4 years and 2 months, and if every year you're gonna make a profit of 25,000, that's 25, 50, 75, 100. And let's take out the $1,000. So in the same time you waiting to get started, Maestro, you'd have made $99,000. Now, what did time do for you that we can't? It did nothing but cost you $99,000. That's opportunity cost. You follow what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
That's opportunity cost. All right. So let's take the other side of that equation. I hope y'all got that, because, like I said, credit is the new cash nowadays, and you have to understand how it works. And that's what we do. All right. So now let's take somebody that says, "Well, I got a 580 credit score. And I'm going to fix my credit." All right. Now I got a whole bunch of stuff in my house that needs fixing. I ain't fixed it yet. Sometimes the car needs a little maintenance done to it, and it just continues to languish. And that's how most people's credit is. Most people don't give a rip about their credit until they're ready to go buy a house or car, or they get denied for a credit card or something like that. I mean, in some place you can't get a bank account if your credit score is too low. But usually it's something they want to do that they get imposed upon because of a low credit score. Well, if going into business is being imposed upon because of your low credit score, then let's fix it. All right, so let's just suppose that the person is indeed, they're going to be very diligent about paying their balances down below 30%. Let's say they're going to be very diligent about not getting new inquiries. Let's say they're going to really be diligent about paying all their bills and creditors on time. And they're going to have their 3 trade lines, 2 unsecured, 1 secured. They're going to do all the things within their control to get their credit score up to 750. And let's just suppose that they can accomplish all that stuff within a year. Okay, a year is probably about right. Because again, some things, it takes time for them to happen. It takes time for them to report. And if you got to pay balances down, you got to have money to pay them down and all that other stuff. All right, so let's say they accomplished that in a year. Well, in that year, they could have let us take care of all that for them at an investment of $1,000 or less. Matter of fact, the last 3 clients that we've run through our credit rebuild process has spent less than $1,000, but boom, and you pop out and you got a $50,000 credit line. Month 4. Now, which would you rather do? Wait a whole year to get positioned, and now guess what? You don't have the money yet. Now you got to go through an application process and all that, and probably get turned no if you go into the bank like most folks who don't know what we know do. You come here, schedule that consultation. All I need y'all to do is call me. Okay, get scheduled. Let's talk. I will give you the path. Okay, I will light the way for you to power your dreams, because to the point, money is time and time is money. If you understand how to get the money, you collapse time. And as one of our real estate mentoring clients, I shared with him, I said, and he was saying, well, I got this credit line, and from the standpoint of, I said, how long would it take you to save up $90,000? And if you're paying on a term loan $400 a month, consider yourself saving toward 90,000, but you already got the 90,000, and you're going to take it and go invest in real estate and make 50,000 or 20,000 or 100,000 or whatever the case might be. Shifting that paradigm and understanding, and I want to take this opportunity that in business, debt is a tool you have to learn how to use, but most people never learn how to use it because they never get access to it, because they don't understand on that 5th slide I showed all the things you need to understand. You don't need to understand how to do brain surgery. You go to a brain surgeon. You don't have to understand how to make an exquisite French cuisine dish. You go to a chef who studied French cuisine. You don't need to know how to build a house. You just go to an architect who draws it out and gives it to a general contractor who builds it. We do these things all the time, but when it comes to finance and capital, most of us think we have to figure it out all by ourselves, and you don't. Consultations are free. We will help you to power your dreams with private money. And so I know that went kind of beyond, but I get carried away sometimes, so y'all please forgive me. Any other questions there, Maestro?
No, but excuse me. Darnell Collins is joining us this morning. He says, Tony, this is brilliant counsel. He's enjoying the counsel. So Darnell, and what's up, brother? How you doing?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Darnell. This guy's an awesome, awesome entrepreneur in his own right. Glad to have him as the newest member of our advisory team. So if anybody listening has a desire to have a product manufactured, he is a renowned expert in branding. And so we bring those resources because, again, it says here on the slide, and I'll end with this, it says your dreams powered by private money. I should have and more, because money is not the only thing needed to bring to life and to positive result a business idea or a real estate investment idea. Real estate is fairly simple. If you buy it right, especially if you're doing rental property, it's probably about the easiest business that anybody can do. But when it comes to actual commercial enterprise, folks, I'm telling you, there's a lot that you need to back your ambitions in addition to the capital. And that's what we have for you. If you go to the About Us page on the Private Money Syndicate website, you see all the people we're able to bring into your domain to help you to accomplish that which you set out to do. And Darnell Collins is just amazing. And I'm so proud of him. And I'm so proud of what he represents in terms of what we're able to bring to our clients. And so, Darnell, thanks for your comments and thanks for being here this morning. All right, folks, I'm going to take this thing all the way back to the top. And, from the standpoint that, what we came to you today to do is to give you proof. And so with that, I'm going to let because I kind of lost track of time from the standpoint that if I've not overrun time, if we got anybody who has anything they want to say, ask, or what have you, we are putting this on a special page on our website because we want to give people confidence to move on their dreams and ambitions. Don't wait. This is not the season for waiting. I've given you the resources. They're right here. One click of a button and we can be talking and you can be on the way. And that's what it's all about. So I want to thank you for your time and for your attention. And with that, I want to turn it over to the maestro to take us on home.
All right, folks. And we appreciate you coming by Saturday. We know it's if you're in Columbus, Georgia, we know it's been raining a little bit, or you've been seeing a lot of mist and fog. But we're here to clarify that. We're here to illuminate your path. in technology and in finance. So definitely, we appreciate your time, and we hope y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy it, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all take care. Have a great one.
All right. Bye bye.